Greetings, glorious gamers. This is Scarecrow119. Today I am not playing SMITE, I am teaching SMITE. So, I had a little bit. I was playing the story I've got here. I was playing with my friends, and at one point I seen a friend of mine jump into a fight and fail to kill anyone. The person in question just swung their weapon and died. It was at that point that the inspiration there gave me there to make this video. Now the point in the video basically ends up to trying to make a point of engagements and disengagements, but to get there is quite a few things that we have to go through first. So if you're brand new to the game, this might, at the start anyway, that might be a little bit too new, a little bit too simple for you. It's probably already stuff you already know, but as the video progresses, we'll be getting into different aspects that sort of connect all the dots together. So the first thing we want to really talk about is the types of abilities that characters have and how to cast them. Okay, so in the game you'll probably see that there's three different types of casting. Yeah, there is normal casting, where you activate the ability and then you click to cast it. There is quick casting, which means that when you push the button in, the targeter will appear, and when you take your button off, it will cast the ability. And instant cast, which means that as soon as you push the button, the ability will just cast wherever you're pointing, wherever you're facing. Okay. Now, I've chosen Loki here today because he actually demonstrates a lot of different types of abilities. Yeah. So, as normal with most gods, you'll have the template and then the cast. So his number 2 ability, his decoy ability, that basically comes into that kind of ability. Yeah. You push the button, you come up with the template, and then you click to place it. Okay. Now, other types of abilities are activators and then initiators. Yeah, activators and then you have to wait for the ability to actually cast. Right. A good one of that is the number 1 and the number 3. Yeah. So as number 1, as soon as you push the button, it activates the stealth, and then you've actually got to hit someone with an auto attack to activate the ability and get the damage. Yeah, so push actually activates instantly, and then you come out of it, gives the extra damage. Activate, damage. It's the exact same thing with his number 3. Activate, and then you've got 3 seconds to actually do the damage, or it wears off. So with it's one of those things that you've really got to get into a little bit. You've actually got to get in game before you can really test these sort of abilities, you know, and test how the abilities work to be sure, you know, because there's different types of abilities that activate and then cast, and there's different types of abilities that are templated and some are not. Another good example is the new god Amaterasu. And her number 2 ability, or mirror, is the same as exact same of an activator, and then later on the cast, where you press the button to activate it, and that activates the damage mitigation, and then you wait up to 5 seconds, and the template comes up, and then you cast it, or you activate it, the damage mitigation comes up after 5 seconds, the ability template appears and then shoots off on its own. But you can actually activate the ability itself by pushing the button again, and then again to click to cast it. So it can be quite complicated and quite hard to understand those types of abilities sometimes. Okay. Now, the reason that I start on this base of understanding is because I want you to understand how the abilities work, because being able to cast the abilities the way you want and the way you feel comfortable with is very important for the next stage in the discussion. So for example, if you've got types of abilities that have templates and then click to cast, you've got to be careful of how you click. Yeah, you've got to be able to click effectively. Okay. Now, with most abilities that have a duration on them, there'll be some kind of movement delay. Okay. Now, the reason that I want to have this sort of base of understanding is because you're in a game of SMITE, and because it's third person, movement of your character is extremely important. Very, very important. And the whole point in this discussion is to keep that movement in your favour. You know, to keep your movement as efficient as possible, because with efficient movement comes better team fighting and better engagements. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through this arena and I'm going to cast my 2, and then I'm going to keep running. Yeah, so I'm going to run in, cast, and I keep running. You know, so you will see there that there was a little bit of a movement delay as I was casting ability. Okay, now the reason I want to outline this as well is because with most of these template abilities, you have to click to activate and cast. Yeah, you have to click your mouse to cast the ability. Okay, now that basically feeds back into auto attacking. Okay. When you're auto-attacking, you have diminished movement speed. Okay. Now, this whole discussion that we're having today mainly focuses on warriors, but it also holds some sway over other characters as well. Okay. So the reason I'm doing it another reason that I'm doing it in a separate video is because all of this is very hard to discuss and concentrate on and display in the middle of a game, you know, in the middle of a team fight and things like that. So I wanted to come into the game and just show you. So when we're casting template abilities, we want to be careful that we don't take that extra. We don't want to swing auto attacks more than we need to, because if we swing more auto attacks more than we need to, we're reducing our movement speed and we're reducing our kill capability. And we're also increasing the odds of getting hit ourselves, because being able to juke in this game is extremely effective and extremely important as well. So that's why when we're playing games, we want to be able to cast our abilities effectively and not be stuck in auto attack animations when we don't need to. Okay. Now, the obvious reason that we don't want to be stuck in auto attack animations when we don't want to is because it reduces our ability speed. It reduces our movement speed. You only want to be doing these auto attack animations when you're close enough to hit someone. Okay. Okay. Now, when you're playing as a melee god, you've got to be very careful on how you cast your abilities and how you use your auto attacks. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to discuss is juking and movement speed. Okay. Now, movement speed is very important. Okay, but it's not when you use it when you're efficient with your abilities and when you're efficient with your auto attacks. The movement speed that you get from boots is enough to do you 99% of the time. Okay. Now, even though movement speed is important, you don't want to obviously take increased movement speed that you don't need, because it has an effect on the efficiency of your build as well. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to actually draw up some templates, and I want to demonstrate the abilities of juking abilities, and also how movement speed is extremely important. Okay. So I've not actually got the template on my screen at the moment. I'm actually going to be drawing it later, but I'm going the ability that I'm going to show you at the moment is In fact, what we'll do is we'll come out of this. And we'll have a look at different types of abilities and different templates of abilities that are important to when you're trying to dodge effectively. Yeah? Okay, so we'll go into practice, we'll go into jungle practice. And we'll select Ymir. So Ymir, Ymir is a very controlling god. He is a guardian, and he's got a hard stun. Okay. Now, not many guardians have hard stuns in the game. A lot of them have peels, but he has a straight just hard stun. Now, the reason I'm going to the ability that I want to show you is this freeze. Okay. Now you can see the cone that I've got here. The cone that I've got here, okay? Now this means that the best way to dodge this type of ability is to be closer to Ymir, yeah? Closer to the sides. Now when see if you're standing where, what will this will go, where's Odin? Odin. So if Ymir has his sights on you like this, yeah? That means you're quite close. You're going to get frozen, okay? Now the best way for Odin to move to avoid this ability is to step closer to Ymir, you know, to step closer in outside of the cone circle, okay? Now you're never got it's no point moving away, because the more he moves away, the more scope I have to hit him. It's easier to hit as he moves away, yeah? And it only gets to a certain point where I can't hit him. Now it's easier to keep your movement speed up and move closer to Ymir to avoid this type of damage. Yeah, to avoid this type of lockdown. This template is also similar to a lot of other gods, like Thanatos' scythe, where he swipes right across the screen in a cone like this. Yeah, the best way to avoid it is to get closer to him. Now, and also with, what's his name? With Geb, he's also got the exact same kind of cone. You want to be closer to him, okay? Now, we want to keep our movement speed up when we are not auto-attacking to make it efficient as possible to avoid some abilities, okay? Now, you'll notice that some abilities, like circular abilities that are centralised around the character, are a lot difficult to dodge because there's no cone, you know? There is no cone to step outside, like my number 4. Goes all around me. The only way you can avoid it is by getting outside of the circle. And with this ability, the easiest way is to move straight to the side. You know, even though the cone is no longer an effect; it's just a big straight line. Yeah, but the way it works is that he only has to take out 2 steps to come outside of the rectangle. If he moves closer to me, I can still hit him with the corner. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to show you a few diagrams of movement speed and juking. Yeah. Now, when you're fighting as a melee character, your movement speed is incredibly important, because when you're trying to kill, especially hunters. Now, it's easier to hit things as a hunter. It's easier to hit things further away to a degree than it is to hit things that are closer to you, because of degrees of turning. Yeah, I'm going to put up I'll put up a diagram on the screen to basically show that now. So as you can see, that when you've got distances measured on your screen, you can clearly see that the most efficient ways to dodge and juke enemy abilities and auto attacks, for the most part, that are not circular around the character, like this one, is to be closer to them, yeah, and you always want to be closer to the person to hit them as well with your auto attacks. Okay. Now, when I first started playing Smite, I had a lot of problems trying to use melee characters. Okay, because melee characters are, because they're high damage and they are close range, it's a lot harder to get kills. Okay. Now, when you're playing as an assassin, you've got to basically pick your battles. Now, pick your battles is obviously something that people say a lot, but it's especially important when you're a melee character. You've got to engage on your terms. Okay. Now, if you engage on someone else's terms, you're never going to get a kill, and you're probably always going to lose the fight and get killed. Now, when I mean by engaging on your terms, I mean when you know you have an advantage, or you think you have an advantage. You'll obviously never be able to know everything, but when you think you have an advantage. If you go into someone and try and hit them, and don't succeed in hitting them and staying with them, that person will easily just run away. Okay? Now, because your auto attack animation lowers your movement speed to the degree that another person that is not auto attacking will easily move away. That's also why it's important to build items that allow you to stick to your opponent. Okay? Now, items that allow you to stick to an opponent, the easiest one to pick up at the moment is going to be Creeping Curse. Okay. Now, I already know that the active items are actually getting reworked into relics come season 3, but this curse ability will still be in the game. Okay. The curse ability reduces enemies' movement speed by 30%. I think that might actually be changing within 55 yards. 55 yards is quite a long way away. So anyone that you even remotely get close to, you can activate this ability and you'll be able to close in the distance and kill them. Other items that can be used to allow you to stick to your opponent. So when I mean sticking to your opponent, is that you can be, when you go to attack an opponent, when you go to kill a god, and you just start auto attacking relentlessly, spamming it, holding the button down. Okay, most of the time you'll not be able to stay with the opponent. You'll have to either stop auto attacking to re-engage, or you'll have to have some other way of sticking to them. Other things of staying with the opponent while you're auto attacking is basically sticking to someone. Yeah. Other ways to stick to an opponent is Haste and Fatalis. That's this. Now you can see the passive on this. When a basic attack hits a target, the attacking movement speed debuff. So the other person gets debuffed. So the movement speed goes down. Yeah, that allows you to stick to the opponent. Another one that you can use is also Frostbound Hammer. Frostbound Hammer is a physical item, and I can't actually show you it with the email, but you'll know it when you see it. The passive basically slows an opponent by X amount for 2 or 3 seconds after you hit them with it. Obviously, certain gods have pieces in their kit that allow them to stick to their enemies better, and that's something that can be useful as well. But what I would suggest is when you're playing this sort of game, you've got to basically go in. Each god always has some form of initiation or some form of disengage. Yeah. Every melee god anyway. Every assassin god has some kind of engage and disengage. Okay. Now, like Loki, you can engage and disengage with your stealth, and you can engage and disengage with your ultimate. With Mercury, you've got your dash. With Hunbats, you've got your jump. But you've always got to be careful how you use your engages and disengages. When I say that, when you go in, say if you engage on an opponent and you fail to get any damage done, then you want to disengage and go back in when you've got the cooldown. And also, baiting out other people's defensive skills in a fight is also very, very handy as well. very, very handy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a game. I think we'll actually, no, what I'll do is I'll cut the recording here, and then my next game I'll show a melee god in the soul lane that has some kind of engagement and disengagement. So anyway guys, it's a pretty short one today, but I hope you did get the gist, and I hope you did go trying to get what I was saying, and hopefully that does help with your gameplay as well. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and always GG.